welcome to Freshly Served, the healthy vegan cooking show. I'm Heather, and tonight I'm going to make a creamy garlic sauce, which I'm going to put over quinoa. You could put over any type of grain if you like though. So what I'm going to do first is get the quinoa started. I've got a cup of quinoa I'm going to put in here. Quinoa is a grain that does not need to be rinsed, though you could if you like. And like most other grains, I'm going to cook it 2 to 1. So I'm putting 2 cups of water in with my 1 cup of quinoa. I'm going to give it a pinch of sea salt. Cover it. Bring it to a boil on the burner back there, and then as soon as it comes to a boil, I'm going to turn it down to minimum and let it simmer. Quinoa is fairly fast cooking, so it only takes about 20 minutes, half an hour. And if you have one of these guys, flame tamer, put it underneath. It'll really help the cooking process. A lot of people have trouble cooking quinoa, and really it's just about the right ratio of water to quinoa, a little bit of salt to help the cooking process, and then just letting it get right down to low in order to cook for the 20 minutes. If you cook it too high, it's going to get mushy. If you leave it too long, it'll dry out, and if you don't cook it long enough, it'll also be mushy. So it is a little bit particular, but once you get used to it, no sweat. So now that we've got the quinoa going, let's get started on our garlic sauce. So the base for my sauce is going to be zucchini, and I've got some really beautiful yellow zucchini that I found this week. I normally would just use green zucchini, but because the yellow was there, that's what I'm gonna do. So this is going into a blender, which is necessary for this recipe because otherwise the zucchini will not be transformed into liquid. Food processor is okay. A hand blender probably won't be enough. You can try it, but you'll probably wind up with a bit of chunkiness at the end. Okay, now I'm gonna use some coconut milk. This is not necessary, but because I have some left from my dill dressing that I made for the cucumber salad the other day, I'm going to use this. And just use as much as you like. I'm probably going to wind up by the end of this sauce using this whole half a can, but I'm just going to start with that for now. And you just want enough liquid so that it starts the zucchini blending. So I'm going to add a little bit of water here as well, just to make sure it's really good and liquid. Okay, so I'll start by putting that on the blender just for a couple seconds. And there's where I'm at now. You can see that that's pretty nice and liquid. It's not totally smooth yet. What I'm going to add next is some onion. This is to bring more depth to the flavor. You need to add some form of onion here. It doesn't need to be a yellow onion, but you could put green onion or whatever you like. But you need to have some member of the onion family in here, otherwise it's just going to taste not sauce-like and more like just pureed vegetables, like baby food. So give that another shot with the onion to get that all nice and blended. All right, we're getting a lot creamier over here. Next thing I'm going to add is the garlic. Since I'm calling this a garlic sauce, this is kind of the star of the show, and I'm going to go a little nuts on the garlic. Put in whatever you think you like. And if you like a milder flavor, you may want to roast this before you put it in. I'm putting it in raw. Garlic, of course, has many nutritional benefits, among them antibacterial properties, antifungal, and yeast is a fungus, a type of fungus. So if you have any kind of yeast overgrowth, garlic is helpful for that. Also helpful, of course, in warding off vampires, if that's an issue for you. And the list goes on and on. But anyway, garlic, fantastic. Also, fantastic flavor. So I'm putting the smushedness of the garlic as well as the garlic skin that I pressed in here. Reason I'm pressing it, even though I'm blending it, is because getting a mouthful of garlic isn't the most fun, even for me, and I love garlic. So yes, I am blending it, but I'm gonna smush it up first in my garlic press to make sure that I don't get a big chunk of garlic. All right, so give that another run on the blender. Now if you give that a whiff, it should smell like onion and garlic. Lovely. So next thing I'm gonna do is season this guy, and I'm going to add some salt, some pepper, some nutmeg, and some nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast is not absolutely necessary, but it does really help in the taste of creaminess. So if you have some, I highly recommend throwing some in there. As you can see, I never really measure too precisely. I just throw in what I think is appropriate for the amount of stuff I have. Nutmeg really just adds some depth of flavor, and I don't know, it really brings things together, so try to get some nutmeg in there. Give it one last whir in the blender and we're set to go as soon as the quinoa is cooked. Always a good idea when you finish making a sauce, before you put it on your meal, give it a taste to make sure it has the right flavor. Woo! That's got some garlic kick to it. Now I put more in here than I put in the recipe. I think the recipe was probably more accurate. So what I'm going to do is just add the end of this coconut milk to level things out. The quinoa is cooked back here. I'm just going to put some on my plate. Quinoa, excellent source of protein. It has a good balance of the different amino acids that you need for a healthy body. And it tastes really delicious. It has a kind of a unique taste for a grain, a little bit nutty, especially if you roast it beforehand. And all right, I've got my sauce here. I'm just gonna pour some of this over the quinoa. And I added just a touch of balsamic vinegar to my sauce when I was playing around with the flavors when I had too much garlic in there. And I really like the flavor that balsamic brings, so I'm gonna add that to the recipe. So there you go. This is also definitely excellent if you have some vegetables you want to throw on here on top of the quinoa and then pour the sauce on top. Would be lovely. So enjoy it however you have it. I'm going to have this along with a green salad, and enjoy your dinner.